Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Walk with Ethan Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black, and today we're going to talk about the shows the games, actually, from Tuesday, April 7th, and last night, Wednesday, April 8th, for both NHL and the American Hockey League. As well as we're going to talk about the updated standings going for both Stanley Cup and Calder Cup. So, yeah, we're just going to do, and I'll do a quick preview of tonight's games for each. So, let's just not waste any time. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start with NHL, and then we'll do AHL, and we'll do the standings for both at the end of the episode. So let's just jump right into it. Start with the NHL with Tuesday, April 7th. So these first 5 games were all at 7 p.m. Eastern. So the opening game was Montreal Canadiens and Florida Panthers with the score of 4-3 in a shootout. The 3 stars were Cole Caulfield, Ivan Davinov for second star, and Lane Hudson for third star, all Montreal Canadiens. Game number 2, Ottawa Senators defeating Tampa Bay Lightning at score with 6-2. And by the way, since Ottawa won, New Jersey has been mathematically eliminated from contention. So the 3 stars are Jake Sanderson, Brady Kachuk, and Tam Stützle, all from the Ottawa Senators. Sanderson gave first star, Kachuk second star, and Stützle third star. Game number 3, Columbus Blue Jackets v Detroit Red Wings with the score of 4-3, and that also went to a shootout. Zach Werenski again the first star for Columbus Blue Jackets. Justin Falk for second star from the Detroit Red Wings, and Adam Fantilli gets the third star from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Game number 4. Philadelphia Flyers defeating New Jersey Devils with a score of 5-1. Charles Seegers gets first star from Philadelphia. Philadelphia Flyers probably got all 3 stars. Tyson first star gets second star, and Mitchkov gets the third star. And before I forget too far, let me go back and get the game winning because I somehow always forget. As this is sorry, the website's acting. I'm probably giving 1 second there. There we go. So Cole for the Montreal Florida Panthers shootout game, Cole Caulfield got the shootout victory for that one. And then Shane Pinto for the Ottawa Tampa Bay game got a empty netter at 16:41. So that was the game winning goal. The shootout winner for the Columbus Blue Jackets Detroit Red Wings, that was Zach Werenski. And from Philadelphia, New Jersey game, the game winning goal went to Nick Steeler at 17:09 to third period, an empty netter. And we go to Boston Bruins facing the Carolina Hurricanes. And unfortunately for Scott, his Boston Bruins losing to Carolina Hurricanes with a score of 6-5 in overtime. And Jacob Slavin gets his very first goal in a minute 13 into overtime. And since Carolina did win this game, they are the Metropolitan Division champions. So they have won their Metro Division. And Carolina Hurricanes do take all 3 stars. Jacob Slavin, who got the overtime winner, is first star. Taylor Hall, second star. And Sean Walker is your third star. Then we go to a rematch from this past Sunday's games. As Colorado did defeat St. Louis Blue, getting their win back from Sunday on their home ice with the score of 3-1. Vadir Nikishin getting the game-winning goal for Colorado in second period and a minute forward shorthand goal. But Robert Thompson getting the only goal from St. Louis in the second period, 15:38. And since Colorado did win, they have won the Western Conference, and they are the division, the Central champions as well. So all 3. So first star for Nikishin for Avalanche, Robert Thompson second star for St. Louis Blues, and Martin Nico is third star for Colorado Avalanche. Game number 7, this was at by the way, game 6, 7, and 8 were all at 8 p.m. Eastern. So then we go to Calgary facing off at visiting Dallas Stars, and Dallas Stars went at home ice with the score of 4-3. And this game also went to overtime as well. So Wyatt Johnson and James Robinson take the first 2 stars for the Dallas Stars. Johnson first star, Jason second star, and Al Kapka from Calgary Flames gets third star. And Wyatt Johnson does get the game-winning goal in overtime at 3:32. It was a power play goal. And I'll be honest, this might be a hot take, but I hate when penalties go in. When you have an overtime, you go in the had to get a penalty, which I get why they had to do it, but I think that's stupid. So then we head over to game number 8 as Seattle Kraken visits the Minnesota Wild, and Minnesota gets to win at 5-2 over the Seattle Kraken. As our 3 stars are Matt Boldy from Minnesota Wild, Second star, Jared Springer from also Minnesota Wild, and Jonas Broden gets third star, and he's also from the Minnesota Wild. Game number 9, that was at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Utah Yementh hosting the Edmonton Oilers, and Utah gets to win on home ice at 6-5. And this went to a overtime. This is the third game, by the way. This went to overtime, and we had two. So if you're keeping score, 3 overtimes and 2 shootouts on this night here. Clayton Keller gets first star from the Utah Yementh, also from Utah Nick Schmaltz, and there's Alexander Kerfoot from the Utah Yementh. And the game-winning goal for overtime from the Utah Yementh was Clayton Keller, the captain, off a power play goal. That was 33 seconds into the overtime. Game number 10 at 10 p.m. Eastern. The Vegas Golden Knights went into Vancouver, was visiting Vancouver Canucks, and they defeat the hometown team with a score of 2-1. And Vancouver has already mathematically been eliminated from the Stanley Cup contention anyway. And the game-winning goal was Cole Smith getting his 8th goal of the season at third period at 12 minutes, 13 seconds into the third period. And speaking of Cole Smith, he actually takes first star from Vegas Golden Knights. Nikita Torpedo gets his second star from Vancouver Canucks. And Brady McNabb, also from Vegas, gets the third star. And the 11th and final game of this night here on Tuesday, April 7th. Nashville Predators fishing the Anaheim Ducks, and they clean sweep them with a score of 5-0. The game-winning goal from Nashville was, to see who was Fedor Sketchkov getting his 4th of the season, 15 minutes 7 seconds into the third period. So all Nashville does take all 3 stars. So first are Juice and the goalie, Ryan O'Reilly second star, and Bray Sikaji for third star. So I'll tell you the. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the Colorado part. So due to them winning, Dallas Star and Minnesota will meet, or we get our very first round match confirmed for the 2026 Stanley Cup. It'll be Dallas Stars take on the Minnesota Wild, and honestly, I'm actually pretty excited for that game. So the team so far who got a spot in the playoffs as of April 5th from the Atlantic, Tampa Bay Lightning, Buffalo Sabres, Montreal Canadiens are from the Atlantic Division. Metropolitan Carolina Hurricanes so far. From the Central, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, and Minnesota Wild from the Central, and no one from the Pacific yet, which I'll get to when we get to our preview for tonight. 11, and the teams only so far from East Division from the Atlantic Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils from Metropolitan, Chicago Blackhawks from the Central Division, and Calgary Flames and Canucks from the Pacific. I forget how they were mathematically. I think I can't remember how they had to, but basically, I think they had to need someone to lose. But unfortunately, I totally blanked on what happened there. But that was that game, and we're gonna go over to the Wednesday, April 8th games. Only 3 on tap, which honestly not too bad. So the opening game at 7 p.m. Eastern, Buffalo Sabres visiting the New York Rangers, and they defeat the Rangers with a score of 5-3. Winning goal for that one was Zach Benson at an empty netter, 18:45 in the third period. That is 12th of the season. And Buffalo Sabres taking the first and second star, while New York Rangers gets their third star. So Jason Sucker for first star, Ron McLeod for second star, and Alexis Lafreniere from New York Rangers gets the third star. Our second game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Washington Capitals visiting the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they clean sweep them in their hometown with a score of 4-0. Toronto Maple Leafs is already eliminated from the playoffs. But there's no clenching on this side. There's nobody can have a chance to clench. But again, when I get to tonight's preview, I'll mention it there. Cole Hudson get his 3rd of the season on an empty netter at 16 minutes and 10 seconds for that. So and all 3 stars go to Washington Capitals. First star, the goalie Logan Thompson, Dylan Strom, who kicked off the score and getting second star, and Martin Fahiri getting the third star. And our third and final game from last night, as I'm recording, is on Thursday. Edmonton Oilers visiting the San Jose Sharks, and the Oilers do get the win with a score of 5-2. And the game-winning goal went to Connor McDavid at 14 minutes 13 in the second period. So McDavid having a good night, getting 5 points. He had 3 goals, getting a hat trick on this game, and also 2 assists for that one. And by the way, I just want to mention the first 4 goals all were power plays. So I'll just talk about that. So in the first period, Matt Brady opened up the score at 4 minutes 27 in the first period for Connor McDavid. getting his first of the night at 6 minutes and 18 seconds in the first period. And then Fez Pakistan getting his 19th of the season at 18 minutes and 30 seconds in the first period. And then Jack Ross in the second period at 33 seconds, getting his 21st of this season. So McDavid takes first star for Edmonton Oilers, Evan Bouchard second star, and Jack Ross for the third star. So Edmonton Oilers do take all 3 stars there. And then we're going to jump over to tonight's games, Thursday, April 9th. And then we'll get to the AHL stuff, and then we'll do the standings for both cups at the end of the episode. So tonight, I know I did a preview on Tuesday, but at least there's more updates and stuff. So, and I'm only going to talk about tonight's. The next week's episode will go through the weekend on Monday. So at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, Toronto Maple Leafs will visit New York Islanders. Maple Leafs, their record is 32, 32, and 14, while New York Islanders are 42, 31, and 5 there. In the season series, New York Islanders are actually 2-0. They beat the Maple Leafs back on January 3rd with a score of 4-3 in overtime. Then on March 17th, they defeated them again, this time with a score of 3-1. So games 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 are at 7 p.m. Eastern. And there's multiple games at the same time, as I'm just going to do, so that's why I just keep doing that. So the first 7 p.m. Eastern game, game number 2, Columbus Blue Jackets with the record of 39, 27, 12 are visiting the Buffalo Sabres with 48, 23, and 8. But Columbus takes the season series so far with 2-0. They beat the Sabres toward 28th with a score of 4-3 in overtime on their home ice, and then Columbus win at their ice with a score of 5-1 on January 3rd. Game number 3, Tampa Bay Lightning with a record of 48, 24, and 6 are visiting the Montreal Canadiens with a record of 46, 22, and 10. And Tampa takes that series 2-1. So that one, I forgot so back on December 9th, Tampa Bay visited Montreal. They won 6-1. Then on December 28th, they beat them again, this time with a score of 5-4 in a shootout, before Montreal finally getting their first one over Tampa Bay at the end of March 31st, with a score of 4-1 on Tampa's ice. So either Tampa tonight, this is their final meeting in the regular season. So either Tampa will go 3-1 or we'll get a tied series. So keep an eye on that one. And then game number 4, Florida Panthers with 37, 37, and 4, who are mathematically eliminated from contention for playoffs. The 2-time champs doing that, actually 3rd time ever in history. Meets the Ottawa Senators with a record of 41, 27, and 10. And Florida Panthers have won through season series 3-0. On October 11th, they beat them 6-2. Then on January 10th, they won 3-2. And then March 31st, they beat them 6-3. So Florida looks to clean sweep with a 4-0. But Senators also want to excuse me. Oh, it looks to beat Florida there. And by the way, we're going to see both Kachuk brothers on that line as of right now, so they don't get scratched. Game number 5, Philadelphia Flyers with record of 40, 26, and 12 will meet Detroit Red Wings, who have a record of 40, 29, and 9. And the season series between them are tied with 1 apiece. Philadelphia Flyers defeated Detroit Red Wings March 20th with a score of 5-3. For Detroit beating the Flyers in last week, April 9th with the score, April 2nd, sorry, with the score of 4-2. It is April 9th. My apologies, everybody. Game number 6, at 7 p.m. Eastern, Pittsburgh Penguins with a record of 40, 22, and 16 will beat visit the New Jersey Devils, who have the 40, 35, and they are eliminated from contention for playoffs. Like I said at the top earlier, and Pittsburgh takes the season series with 2-1. New Jersey Devils do beat Penguins back on November 8th with a score of 2-1 in a shootout. And then January 8th, exactly 2 months later, Pittsburgh defeats New Jersey with a score of 4-1. And also on February 26th, they beat them with a score of 4-1. Then game number 7 at 8 p.m. Eastern, Winnipeg Jets 34, 31, and 12 beats the St. Louis Blues with the record of 33, 32, and 12. And Winnipeg takes that season series with 2-1. St. Louis Blues beat the Jets back on December 17th with a score of 1-0. For the Jets, beating them on January 20th and March 15th. January 20th with the score of 3-1, and March 15th with the score of 3-2. 8:30 p.m. Eastern game. This is the 8th game of the night. Carolina Hurricanes of 50, 22, and 6 are visiting the Chicago Blackhawks of 28, 36, and 14. and Chicago actually takes the series with the score of 1-0. Back on January 22nd, they beat them with the score 4-3 in a shootout. Game number 9, that is at 9 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota Wild will take on Dallas. So we're getting a first round preview here on this. I think these two games are this game's determined. I think who's going to have home ice advantage, I believe. But Minnesota Wild with the record of 45-21-12 are visiting Dallas Stars, who have a 46-20-12 record. And Minnesota actually takes the season series with a score of 2-1. October 14th, Dallas Stars did beat the Wild with the score of 5-2. Then on December 11th and March 21st, Minnesota will win the last two games. December 11th with the score of 5-2, and then overtime with the score of 2-1 on the 21st of March. Game number 10, this is at 9 p.m. Eastern. Calgary Flames with this record of 32-36-9 are visiting the Western Conference champs Colorado Avalanche with the record of 51-16-10. And Colorado do win that season series 1-0 when they destroy them back in March with a score of 9-2. Game number 11 at 9 p.m. Eastern. Nashville Predators 37-31-10 are visiting the Utah Mammoth with the score of 41-30-6. And Utah does take that series 2-1. They beat Nashville Predators on October 11th, 3-2 in overtime, and January 24th with the score of 5-2. And then before Nashville beating them on December 29th with the score of 4-3. So Utah looks to win at 3-1, and I'll get to because there are some Stanley Cup clinching for Utah for a couple of teams here. Game number 12 at 10 p.m. Eastern. San Jose Sharks with a record of 37-33-3 are meeting the Anaheim Ducks, whose record is 41-32-5. And San Jose does take the season series with the score of 2-1. As Anaheim Ducks did beat San Jose score of 7-6 on October 11th overtime before San Jose Sharks beat them on December 29th and April 1st. On December 29th with the score of 5-4, and then on April 1st with the score of 4-3. And our second to last game number 13 at 10 p.m. Eastern, Vegas Golden Knights with 36-26-16 are visiting Seattle Kraken, who has a record of 32-34-11. And Seattle takes that series actually 2-0. And by the way, Seattle is up for elimination on this game. So like I said, Seattle won both games back on October 11th with the score of 2-0 and 2-1 in overtime. Then January 29th with the score of 3-2. And our 14th and final game on this night, Vancouver Canucks, and it's at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, by the way. Vancouver Canucks with a record of 22-47-8 are visiting the LA Kings, who have a record of 32-26-19. And LA does take that series 2-0. And again, I forgot to write down the the thing. That's my bad. So I'm gonna go on the NHL website for that one. So the first game was 2-1 on November 29th in overtime. Then on March 26th, they clean swept with the score of 4-0. So the Stanley Cup clinches scenario. So this might be a little confusing. So I do apologize, everybody. So 4 teams here: Pittsburgh, Boston, Edmonton, and Utah can clinch the spot in the playoffs. And Colorado can actually win the President's Trophy. But let me get to the clinching first. So Pittsburgh can clinch the spot with a win over New Jersey in any fashion. Gets a point with them. And Buffalo has to beat Columbus in any fashion. And Toronto has to beat the New York Islanders in any fashion. And Buffalo beats. And Columbus beats them in any fashion. Sorry, let me read it. So, Pittsburgh would claim spot with a win over New Jersey in any fashion, a point with New Jersey in any Columbus loss, or a Columbus regulation loss and a New York Islanders regulation loss. Boston Bruins, they could with Columbus regulation against Buffalo and a Detroit loss against Philadelphia, and an Islanders regulation loss against Toronto. Edmonton Oilers, they need Nashville to lose to Utah, San Jose to lose to Anaheim in any fashion, and the Jets basically lose has to beat the Wet Jets in regulation. So basically, if it goes to overtime and shoot for the Jets Blues game, then that means Oilers won't clinch in. Yep. Utah, they just have to beat or get a regulation win over Nashville, and the Sharks has to lose to Anaheim in any fashion. President's Trophy, Colorado Avalanche, they would a win against Calgary in any fashion, or Carolina loses to Chicago in regulation, or they get a point against Calgary and Carolina loses in any fashion. And Seattle, they'll be eliminated with a loss against Vegas. Um, Nashville gets a win in Utah in any fashion, or they get a point. Seattle gets a point, and either LA gets a win, San Jose gets a win, or Nashville gets a point. So, yeah, that's pretty much all for that. And then we're gonna jump to AHL before we get into the standings there. So from April 7th, so game number 1, 4 p.m. Eastern, San Diego Gulls defeat San Jose Barracuda with a score of 5-2. Game number 2 at 8 p.m. Eastern, Manitoba moves to the Milwaukee Admirals with the score of 4-3. And by the way, since Manitoba won, they got their spot in the Calder Cup playoffs. Game number 3, Iowa defeat Texas with a score of 5-2. That was also 8 p.m. Eastern. And the fourth and final game on the show at 10 p.m. Eastern, Ontario Reign defeat Colorado Eagles with a score of 2-1. And the team so far in the Calder Cup playoffs. And by the way, it's gonna be 23 teams going in the Calder Cup. So 5 teams from the North and Central divisions will advance, 7 from the Pacific, and 6 from the Atlantic. And so far from the Atlantic, it's Providence Bruins, Wilkes-Barre / Scranton Penguins, and the Charlotte Checkers. North, and they got 3 spots left for their side. For the North Division, Levy Rocket, Syracuse Crunch, and Cleveland Monsters have qualified so far, and they got 2 spots remaining for the North side. Central, Grand Rapids Griffins, who won the division, Chicago Wolves, Texas Stars, Manitoba, those 4 have qualified. They got 1 spot left for the Central. And the Pacific so far, Ontario Reign, Colorado Eagles, Coachella Valley Firebirds, San Jose Barracuda, and Henderson Silver Knights have all qualified. So they need, and there's going to be 2 more teams to be determined for that one. So that was that game. Then on Wednesday, April 8th, we had 6 games on here. So the game number 1 at 10:45 in the morning. Yes, you heard that right. 10:45 in the morning Eastern time. The Toronto Marlies from the Utah Comets with a score of 4-3 in overtime. And for them to get into a spot in the playoffs, they had to get a point against Utah. And that Utica Comets, so that did happen. Game number 2 at 7 p.m. Eastern, Rochester Americans defeating Syracuse Crunch with a score of 3-2. Games 3 and 4 are both at 8 p.m. Eastern. So game number 3, Milwaukee Admirals, who lost the night before to Manitoba, came back and destroyed them with a score of 7-0. Game number 4, Iowa defeating Texas Stars with a score of 4-0. And game number 5, as games 5 and 6 were both at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So game number 5, the Bakersfield Condors did defeat the Tuesday Roadrunners with a score of 5-2, and due to them actually winning, they get a spot in the Calder Cup playoffs. In the 6th and final game at 9:30 p.m., Henderson Silver Knights defeated Coachella Firebirds with a score of 3-1. So that was last night. I know for tonight's game, we only have one on tap tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. The Wilkes-Barre / Scranton Penguins with the record of 4-3, 16, 6-2 takes on the Bridgeport Islanders with a record of 38, 28, 3, and 5. And the only Calder Cup clinching scenarios for this one is the Providence Bruins could win the Atlantic Division title. The only way they could win that, the Penguins have to lose to Bridgeport. So that's the only thing going on tonight for that one. So to close out this week's shows, guys, we're going to go over to the NHL standings and then the AHL, which shouldn't take too long. So I'm just going to go by each division. So the way I'm just going to do is talk about their points, their game loss, and overtime, and their shootout record. So that's all I'm going to do. So from the Atlantic, so the 8 teams were Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal, Boston Bruins, Ottawa Senators, Detroit, Florida, and Toronto. So at first place, Buffalo Sabres with 104 points. They have 48 wins, 23 losses, 8 overtimes. And their shootout was 5-0, so they're undefeated in that one. Tampa Bay Lightning, who have 102 points. They have 48 wins, 24 losses, 6 overtimes, and their shootout record is 4-2. Montreal Canadiens have 102 points, but they have 46 wins, 22 losses, and 10 overtimes, and their shootout record is 4-5. So those 3 teams are in the Stanley Cup, like I mentioned earlier. Boston Bruins in 4th place with 96 points, with 43 wins, 26 losses, and 10 overtimes, and their shootout is 4-3. Ottawa Senators has 92 points in 5th place with 41 wins, 27 wins, 10 I'm sorry, I screwed that up. 41 wins, 27 losses, and 10 overtimes. And their shootout is 3-1. Detroit Red Wings with 89 points in sixth place. They have 40 wins, 29 losses, 9 overtimes, and their shootout record is 2-4. And the first of two teams eliminated from the Atlantic Division. Florida Panthers with 78, and Toronto both have 78 points, but Florida Panthers have 37 wins, 37 losses, and 4 overtimes, and their shootout record is 5-2. And like I said, Maple Leafs in eighth place, also 70, but they have 32 wins, 32 losses, 14 overtimes, and their shootout record is 1-4. Carolina Hurricanes, the Metropolitan Division champions, in first place with 106 points. They have 50 wins, 22 losses, 6 overtimes, and their shootout win record is 5-3. Pittsburgh Pirates in second place with 96 points, with 40 wins, 22 losses, and 16 overtimes. And their shootout wins record is 3 wins and 10 losses. That is, not gonna lie, kind of horrible. Philadelphia Flyers in third place with 92 points. They have 40 wins, 26 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their shootout is 9-4. Columbus Blue Jackets in fourth place with 90 points. They have 39 wins, 27 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their shootout record is 7-2. New York Islanders in fifth place with 89 points, 42 wins, 31 losses, 5 overtimes, and their shootout record is 4-5. Washington Capitals in sixth place, also 89 points, but they have 40 wins, 30 losses, and 9 overtimes, and their shootout is 2-6. And the first of two teams eliminated from the Metropolitan Division, New Jersey Devils with 83 points with 40 wins, 35 losses, and 3 overtimes, and their shootout is 4-1. And New York Rangers in last place with 75 points with 33 wins, 37 losses, and 9 overtimes, and their shootout record is 3-1. Western Conference from the Central. So the 8 teams on this are Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild, Utah Utes, Nashville Predators, Winnipeg Jets, St. Louis Blues, and the Chicago Blackhawks. So first place, Colorado Avalanche with 112 points, 51 wins, 16 losses, and 10 overtimes, and their show record is 3-6. And they are the Western Conference in the Western Conference champions there, and they're the first of 3 teams from that division, division during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Also in the playoffs, Dallas Stars with 104 points with 46 wins, 20 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their show is 5-4. Minnesota Wild in third place with 102 points with 45 wins, 21 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their show record is 4-5. Utah Utes with 88 points, with 41 wins, 30 losses, and 6 overtimes, and they haven't gone to shootout yet, so they're at 0-0. Nashville Predators in fifth place with 84 points with 37 wins, 31 losses, and 10 overtimes, and their shootout record is 5-2. Winnipeg Jets in 6th place with 80 points with 34 wins, 31 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their show is 2-4. St. Louis Blues in 7th place with 78 points with 33 wins, 32 losses, and 12 overtimes, and their show record is 1-4. And Chicago Blackhawks in 8th last place, and they are the only team so far eliminated from the Central Division with 70 points, and they have 28 wins, 36 losses, and 14 overtimes, and their show record is 3-5. And from the Pacific Division, their 8 teams are Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Golden Knights, Anaheim Ducks, LA Kings, San Jose Sharks, Seattle Kraken, Calgary Flames, and Vancouver Canucks. So Oilers in first place with 90 points, with 40 wins, 29 losses, and 10 overtimes, and their show record is 0-3. Vegas Golden Knights with 88 points, 36 wins, 26 losses, and 16 overtimes. They're in second place, by the way, as of right now, as I'm recording this. And the show shootouts is 1-7. Anaheim Ducks in third place with 87 points with 41 wins, 32 losses, and 5 overtimes. And they actually have an undefeated streak going on the shootout as of right now with the record of 8-0. Los Angeles Kings takes fourth place with 83 points with 32 wins, 26 losses, and 19 overtimes. And their shootout record is 5-9. San Jose Sharks in fifth place with 81 points with 37 wins, 33 losses, and 7 overtimes, and their show is 2-1. Seattle Kraken, who could be eliminated tonight, just by how the Slayers went. 32 wins, 34 losses, and 11 overtimes, and their show record is 1-6. And the first of 2 teams eliminated from the Pacific Division, Calgary Flames, 73 points with 32 wins, 36 losses, and 9 overtimes, and their show is 4-3. And Vancouver Canucks in last place with 52 points with 22 wins, 47 losses, and 8 overtimes, and their show is 5-2. And I'll talk about their wild cards right quick. Uh, so the Atlantic is literally 3 teams in the they were made to the Stanley Cup playoffs, so I won't talk about that just because kind of not fair. Carolina Hurricanes, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Philadelphia Flyers are in Metropolitan, even though Carolina got spot in the playoffs. And from the East, the Eastern wildcard side, so that I'll just go by the top the range. So Boston Bruins, Ottawa Senators are the top 2 right now. Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, New York, and Washington are all under the Senators. So, and then the Western side, the top from the Central, it's the 3 teams in the Cup. That is Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. So the Pacific is Edmonton Oilers, Vegas, and Anaheim are the top 3 right now. But below them in the wild card, it's Utah and Nashville, and under them it's LA, San Jose, Winnipeg, and St. Louis. So that is all the NHL updates for you right now. And before we'll go to the AHL stands, so same thing, just their wins, their loss, overtime, and shootout loss, and their points. So from the Atlantic Division, in first place, Providence Bruins with 51 wins, 14 losses, and 2 overtime losses, and 0 shootout lose with 104 points. Second place, Wilkes-Barre/Grand Penguins. They have 94 points. They have 43 wins, 16 losses, 6 overtime losses, and 2 shootout losses. Charlotte Checkers in third place with 89 points. They have 42 wins, 21 losses, 5 overtime losses, and 0 shootout losses. Bridgeport Islanders in fourth place with 68 points with 30 wins, 28 losses, 3 overtime losses, and 5 shootout losses. Hershey Bears in fifth place with 67 points with 29 wins, 29 losses, 6 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. 66 points for Springfield Thunderbirds in sixth place with 29 wins, 29 losses, 6 overtimes, and 2 shootouts. In seventh place, Lehigh Valley Phantoms with 62 points. They have 28 wins, 33 losses, 3 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. At overtime on their side, they have as losses, so I just don't want to keep repeating myself there. And in last place, 8th for the Atlantic Division, Hartford Wolfpack with 56 points with 24 wins, 34 losses, 5 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. North Division, Lavelle Rocket with 87 points with 40 wins, 21 losses, 2 shootouts, and 2 overtimes and 5 shootouts. Syracuse Crunch in second place with 85 points with 39 wins, 22 losses, 3 overtimes, and 4 shootouts. Cleveland Monsters are in third place with 78 points with 35 wins, 25 losses, 6 overtimes, and 2 shootouts. Toronto Marlies in fourth place with 76 points. They have 33 wins, 25 losses, 5 overtimes, and 5 shootouts. And by those 4 I mentioned, they are part of the Calder Cup so far. Rochester Americans takes fifth place with 71 points with 31 wins, 27 losses, 5 overtimes, and 4 shootouts. Sixth place, Utah Comets with 63 points with 26 wins, 30 losses, 6 overtimes, and 5 shootouts. And then Belfair Centers in last place, 7th place with 61 points with 26 wins, 32 losses, 8 overtimes, and 1 shootout. Now onto Central Division, Grand Rapids Griffins, who actually clinched the division. They're the Central Division champions with 103 points with 49 wins, 13 losses, 4 overtimes, and 1 shootout. Chicago Wolves in second place with 76 points with 31 wins, 21 losses, 8 overtimes, and 6 shootouts. Texas Stars in third place with 74 points with 35 wins, 29 losses, 3 overtimes, and 1 shootout. Manitoba Moose in fourth place with 70 points with 32 wins, 29 losses, 5 overtimes, and 1 shootout. Fifth place, Milwaukee Emeralds with 67 points with 30 wins, 30 losses, 4 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. Rockford IceHogs in sixth place with 59 points with 27 wins, 35 losses, 3 overtimes, and 2 shootouts. And Iowa Wild in last place with 59 points with 25 wins, 33 losses, 6 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. And in the Pacific, they have the most teams. They have 10 teams in this division. By the way, from the Central Division, Grand Rapids Griffins, Chicago, Texas, and Manitoba all have a Calder Cup playoff spot. So Central Division, do need one more team from that one. North Division, they have 5 teams advancing from that division. They just need one more as well. And Atlantic, they have 6, and right now they have 3, so they need 3 more spots. Pacific, they have 7, so 6 of them have been filled so far, so they just need one more here. So Ontario Reign with 93 points in first place with 44 wins, 19 losses, 3 overtimes, and 2 shootouts. Colorado Eagles with 91 points, second place with 40 wins, 17 losses, 6 overtimes, and 5 shootouts. Henderson Silver 96 third place with 83 points with 36 wins, 20 losses, 7 overtimes, and 4 shootouts. Coachella Valley Firebirds with 83 points in fourth place with 39 wins, 23 losses, 5 overtimes, and 0 shootouts. San Jose Barracuda in fifth place with 82 points with 39 wins, 24 losses, 2 overtimes, and 2 shootouts. Bakersfield Condors in sixth place with 80 points with 35 wins, 22 losses, 9 overtimes, and 1 shootout. San Diego Gulls in seventh place with 76 points with 32 wins, 23 losses, 8 overtimes, and 4 shootouts. Tucson Roadrunners in 8 points with 69 points. They have 30 wins, 28 losses, 9 overtimes, and 0 shootouts. Calgary Wranglers in ninth place with 57 points with 21 wins, 32 losses, 10 overtimes, and 5 shootouts. And in last place, Aberford Canucks with 55 points with 24 wins, 37 losses, 4 overtimes, and 3 shootouts. And by the the last set of regulation games will be on Sunday, April 19th, by the way. So not this Sunday come, but the following Sunday will be the final regulation season games. And then we'll start with the Calder Cup, which I should have a preview then by then. But listen, that is the episode for this week. I'm your host, I'll be back sometime next week. Hopefully Tuesday, but I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, that's the episode. Have a good week, guys, and stay safe.